Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today you're going to be trying to get your fridge to be the cleanest. You'll be doing so by getting rid of your most filthy cards, but you'll have to remember where they are. You'll also need to pay attention because if you're fast enough, you'll be able to get rid of matching cards even on other players' turns. Dirty Fridge is for 2 to 6 players, takes about 15 minutes to play, and is published by Pero Loco Games. It's on Kickstarter right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works, and then I'll see you on the other side. This is a Kickstarter preview, so all the art and components you see here are prototype, and you're going to want to see the Kickstarter project page in the link in the description of this video to see all the final art and components. At the beginning of the game, each player is given their own fridge, which essentially is 4 face-down cards. At the end of the game, you're trying to be the one with the cleanest fridge, meaning you have the smallest amount of filth points. But it's not so easy, because at the beginning of the game, you get to secretly look at the bottom 2 cards of your fridge, but then you got to flip them over. And you're going to need to remember those because you won't be able to look at those cards again unless cards specifically tell you that you can. So a 3-player game might look like this, with each player having their own 4 cards of their fridge to start the game. Now on a player's turn, they're simply going to take the top card from the draw deck and place it in the discard pile next to it. Then they have 2 choices. One of them is they can swap this card for one of the ones already in their fridge. Whoa. If you remember, we had an 8 in our fridge, and this is a -2. That's a fantastic card. And when you do that, you'll flip up the card you're swapping, and you'll take the card that you're putting in face down. So again, you and other players need to remember what that is. Now I told you that the player has 2 options on their turn when a card's flipped over, and that's true when the card actually has an ability. Any cards 5 or higher are going to have an ability, and they all do different things. For example, this is a pass card, which means that this player, instead of swapping this card in with their fridge, they can pass 1 card from their fridge to the player seated to their right, indicated by those arrows. So this player might want to pass this one to this middle player, which is us. This player might want to swap this one, and this player might want to swap this one. And so they all just move to the right, just like that. And you're not able to look at any of these. They all stay face down. You can't peek at them. If the card is a 6 like this, you can take the action to blind swap. And that's you swapping any one of your cards with somebody else's, and you cannot look at them before or after, so you better know what you're doing or you might not be happy with the results. If you take the action of the number 7 card, you get to peek and swap. Which means you'd select one of your cards, you'd secretly peek at it. I'm going to show you though. Oh, it's a 6. And you would pick another card from another player and you would only secretly look at it. Only you would look at it. It's a 2. Oh, good. So then you would swap those, and even if you don't like the result, after you peek, you must swap those ones. Now, if you're using the action for the number 8 card, you get to open a fridge, meaning you can look at the value of one of the cards in your fridge or a different player's. For instance, maybe I really want to see what this is. Again, I only look myself. I don't show it to anybody else, but now I know what's there. Oh, not a bad card. Or instead, maybe I looked at another player's card. I looked at this thing, and again, I would just look at it secretly. I wouldn't be flipping it up for everybody here, but I'm showing you on the camera. Ooh, that's a 4. Now this is very important because on any player's turn, when they flip a card, before they decide what to do with this, if another player has this exact number in their fridge, they can place it and discard it face down right on top of here, but only one player can do it. The fastest one gets in, and you have to do it before the player decides what to do with this card whose turn it is. And if you remember, we had just looked at this card. It was a 3. We're confident. We flip it up. We're the first ones to do this. That's great. Now, we have less cards, which means our fridge is more clean. Now, after this happens, the active player still gets to take their turn as normal. However, let's say we looked at their card like we showed you before, and it was a 4, and a 4 comes up. We can take their card if we're the first ones and place their 4 there. But because we got rid of somebody else's card, we can take any one of our cards without looking at them and give them to that player. Now, as the game goes on, because of what you've seen, players will begin to have less and less cards in their fridge. And on your turn, if you think you have the cleanest fridge, you take the cleaning cloth, which is specific for the amount of players you're playing with, and you put it in your fridge, essentially giving you, in this case, -1 point. Everybody else, other than you, will get 1 more turn. And then all players will flip up all the cards in their fridge and add them up. In this case, we have 19. We have actually -1, and we have 4, so we would win because we have the cleanest fridge. This is Perro Loco's first game, so this Kickstarter is going to be print and play only and very affordable. For €1, you'll get the print and play PDF, as well as for the box, which will have multiple sizes that fit common mobile phone boxes like the iPhone, Samsung, etc. Also, all the cards will fit into one pack of premium card sleeves, which come in a quantity of 50. For €2, you'll get the print and play for Dirty Fridge, but you'll also get the game with an alternate art and a version called What's Behind the Door, which is a role-playing theme with doors and monsters. There'll also be new rules to play a different game altogether using the cards from the What's Behind the Door version. There'll be stretch goals that will offer new cards and an expansion to the What's Behind the Door version called Knock Knock Knockout. If you're a publisher and would like to publish it in your own country, there'll be a way to get in touch with Perro Loco Games about that as well. And finally, as I mentioned, this is Perro Loco's first published game. They will have more ambitious games coming soon that will be published in the typical non-print and play physical form, and some will even include miniatures. And you can learn more about those at perroloco.com, and that link is in the description of this video below me. Well, there you have Dirty Fridge, and as I showed in the overview, it's a light strategy game that the whole family can enjoy. It uses memory elements, remembering what you've seen and where those cards are, along with a speed element of discarding matching cards on other players' turns to keep you engaged the whole game. Now, if you'd like to see the final art, components, and all the different pledge levels available, you can click the link below me in the description of this video, and it will take you directly to the Kickstarter project page, and I'm sure the fine folks at Perro Loco Games would love your support.